So check out 1 to 6 on my channel if you missed it. The two face off on a vast white floor under a dark sky filled with glowing lights. The scene begins with a monstrous pale creature with rows of sharp teeth mockingly asking if the situation is a joke. Che Hart, a human fighter with blonde braids and a goatee, stands his ground, warning the beast not to stand in his way. A system interface reveals a shocking detail. Despite his confidence, Che Hart is listed as having none in the talent category. As the fight begins, the monster lunges forward with a manic expression, its tongue lolling out as it unleashes a guttural roar. It throws a high-speed, blurry strike, but Che Hart remains composed. With a precise movement sound, Che uses his open palm to deflect the Nanaku's incoming limb. Almost simultaneously, Che drops his center of gravity. He ducks underneath the monster's reach and reaches up to grab the creature's thick forearm. By seizing the monster's limb, he completely halts its momentum and prevents it from throwing a follow-up strike. An observer in the stands, which seems to be one of Che's buddy, cheers him on. Then one of Che's buddy asks Nanaku's master about his talent. Then with a smug on his ugly-looking face, he told him he'll find out soon. Going back to the fight, Nanaku told Che to bring the heat while trying to land a kick on him, but Che dodged successfully. Che quickly retaliated with an elbow strike, but Nanaku was able to block effortlessly, while laughing maniacally and taunting Che that he can smell his rage. The fight progressed with Che throwing a kick and Nanaku blocking. Then they transitioned into a battle of strength, twisting each other raw power, headbutting each other like buddies. Nanaku told Che he'd be angry if he died a better dead than this. Nanaku gets close to Che's face, snarling that he has killed more people than Che has ever even faced. It claims Che will die like all the others, with the shame of fear etched onto his face. After being mocked, Che Hart finds an opening. He drives 2 powerful punches directly into Nanaku's chest. At first it looked like it was some kind of a powerful strike, but it caused Nanaku little to no damage. Nanaku then rips of his shirt, and you know when that happens, things are about to get serious. With a fearless look, Che says to Nanaku that he's getting in the way of his mission. One of Che's buddy in the stand says that they are evenly matched, but the smug-looking old man tells him that doesn't think a human can match a chemio-killing machine. Then he says that Nanaku was bred for death matches. That's his true element, and he should just wait for blood first. Che lands a heavy blow on the Nanaku. But following the strike, Nanaku lunges forward and firmly grips Che by the throat. While holding Che's neck, Nanaku delivers a devastating slashing attack across the human's torso, resulting in a massive spray of blood. Onlookers react with horror and disbelief at the sheer amount of blood spilled. The older man with the red beard notes with a smirk that the fight has only just begun, as an announcer confirms that Nanaku has officially drawn first blood. Nanaku is shown grinning and growling, clearly relishing the violence. Lots of red juice were on the arena floor, and Nanaku was shown licking Che's blood off his fingers like a psychopathic zombie maniac. Che held his bleeding torso that clearly hurts by the look on his face. Then he says to himself that the strike went through at Vest, but he has to persevere so he can make it to the next round. He ignores the pain and clenches his fist, throwing a punch at Nanaku, which he dodged and retaliated by brutally kicking Che's face, which sent him flying across the ring, which made him splash a lot of blood on the floor of the ring. Then Nanaku bent down, placing his 2 hands on the floor and stretching out his frog-like tongue, which he used to lick Che's blood while calling out his name. He stands up and said to Che that he can't seem to decide a head or an heart which will fit in a jar while laughing maniacally. And damn, this dude's ugly. Despite the bad situation of Che, the audience was cheering wildly, clearly enjoying the blissful spectacle. Nanaku proceeded by slashing several parts of Che's body, which made it to bleed more and more. While saying, "The more you bleed," Che was devastated, clearly at his limit. Nanaku continued by saying, "The less you will breathe." The green headband guy in the stands asked Louise. "What is this?" Sunraz shouted from the stands, telling Che to quickly find a blind spot, clearly trying to wake him up from the emotional breakdown of powerlessness he just felt, while Nanaku Master and second brother asked if Rhino Boy is worried. They also told him not to waste his breath and he should just enjoy the spectacle that going on in the hunting ground. One of Che's buddy, clearly dumb and slow to catch on, asks Nanaku's master if Nanaku is hunting Che. Nanaku's master continues by explaining that during the hunt, we see Che standing clearly exhausted and beaten. He continued by saying that once Nanaku draws the first blood, he has already won. Che's was clearly frightened, feeling a change in the aura Nanaku US exuding. Although already strong, Nanaku still decided to turn on some kind of power-up surrounded by a red, ominous aura. Master Nanaku continued by saying, "Though whilst your blood spill, his instincts overflow." Nanaku was growling and screaming more. Che's green headband buddy in the stands said, "Come on, you guys gotta stop this," with worry etched on his face with a smug grin. Master Nanaku, who I personally hate for no reason, said, "Too damn late. Behold Nanaku, the blood-frenzied hunter." Nanaku let out a loud roar, clearly done with his power-up, and then we get a clear explanation of his talent. Kimyo Nanaku talent. Blood frenzy, the scent of human or Kimyo blood causes Nanaku to undergo an uncontrollable physical evolution. Nanaku then enters hunter state, making him a proficient killing machine. Talent type state and shift, which explains his sudden boost in strength. The audience were cheering wildly, clearly thrilled about such a spectacle. While Sunraz was totally shocked, saying, "You gotta be kidding me?" Cheese was also surprised while Nanaku was smiling. Then we see the crazy side character, killer of Che's master and the organizer of this spectacle, Mr. Rokash. And then Nanaku is seen with his new form changing from frog head to shark head. Really a nice power boost. Che's on his knees while Nanaku asks the audience if anyone is concerned for this human clearly aura farming. The green headband guy in the stand says to Louise, "That's he doesn't like the looks of this match up. Nanaku is a state talent user. His blind spot would be a lack of blood." But regardless of chi, the battleground is stained with the blood of the previous combatants. A state talent is one of the rarest type of talents. State talents allow the user to enter a state or mode, where so long as the user remains in that mode, they are granted access to special attributes. Going back to the fight, Nanaku jumps with his large and frightening body, clearly planning of smashing Che to the arena floor. He lands with his feet, Che dodges, but as expected, the arena floor cracks on impact. Poor floor, Che readies his stance and throws heavy and fast punches at Nanaku, but as expected, it has no effect. Even a mosquito's bite would hurt more than that. Nanaku grins and says that preys are always so fast on their feet, clearly mocking Che. Che doesn't mind and quickly steps behind Nanaku, catching him off guard with a grip lock. And he says to himself, "Last chance. We end this here." He uses the last bit of his strength to lift up Nanaku and hit him with a powerful suplex that would clearly knock out a gorilla. It destroys the arena floor on impact. Hope came back. His buddies on the stand shouted, "Yes." But hope isn't for the weak, not when you're fighting a person with the body of King Kong and a shark head. Nanaku starts speaking, saying, "Does not nature show you Che heart?" He grabs Che's injured arm while saying that prey are never the victors. Che was freaked out, and it was at that moment he knew he fucked up. Nanaku smashed his head into the arena floor, shattering the place of impact, and the audience finally went on panic mode. Then the respected master killer said, "And what will you do now, Che?" Nanaku held Che's bruised face up and said, "Are you satisfied? This is the product of your years of delusion. Look at this. You make a mockery of my skill." He continued by saying, "Let his blood be on your hands. I will kill every single human arrogant enough to enter Kimyo tournaments." He punched Che in the head and sent him flying to the other side of the arena, while saying power cannot be faked. You either possess it or you don't. Word for the wise. With a menacing and scary-looking glare, he says, "However, for those who do, the line between mediocre and immense power is drawn with the blood of those who disregarded the absolute gap." Che's buddies scream for him to stop the fight. Nanaku's master in return tells him to watch his friend die. Nanaku says, "Do you hear that silence, kid? I will use your corpse as a stepping stone, as I paint this arena floor with your blood." He spreads him arms and says, "But rejoice, I am also known for my compassionate heart. I shall be merciful in granting you a swift death." Che's buddies in the stands are still. Trina plead for the fight to be stopped, but Nanaku decided not to, saying that he has decided that Che's head will be mounted upon his wall. That's kind of cruel side character Mr. Rokash closes his eyes, clearly disappointed because he thought Che heart would be related to S heart, Che's master, which he luckily killed. Nanaku advances toward Che. Then he lunges at him with his mouth wide open, clearly ready to put an end to this fight. Che's shocked and says to himself, "Is this where I die?" And people, according to the popular saying, protagonist plot armor. This is where things get interesting. Che's closing his eyes, but he was still not ready to accept his fate. He says to himself, "Not yet. Not ever," while a mysterious power awakened within him. And then the whole arena gets engulfed in flames. His buddies are shocked and manager Nanaku scream, "Impossible." Mr. Rokash quickly opened his closed eye. The flames are so intense it starts shattering the arena's barrier. Then one of Chi's buddy rushes to save the crowd, which were about to be roasted. He activates his talent by saying Chichioya no Haya, with his hands clapped together. His talent activates, which is named Chichioya no Hai, and is a range control talent. But flames are so hot, my buddy's also about to get toasted. A flame passed him and was about to hit a lady. But then the green headband guy activates his talent called Kirin, a pace type. Bro might have bagged himself a waifu, Rhino Guy also shields others from the flame. Then he says, "You guys seeing this?" Headband Guy immediately recognizes the flame as the flame of their dead master, the Illinois Phoenix Flame, one of the 4 greatest talent in the world. The flame erupts more, destroying the arena. And damn, my buddy Nanaku is frightened, bro, has clearly become the prey. Bro says flames them, screams at Che. "You damned liar! You registered for this competition as a human. You deceiver! You said you had no talent. You mocked me then and you mock me now. I will devour you and rip you limb from limb," but you can clearly see the fear in bro's eyes. I kind of felt a little bit of pity for him. Our protagonist, Mr. Che, has fire surrounding him, but instead of burning, bro feels no pain and is even healing. Everyone in the stands is still shocked by the dazzling flame bro's displaying, but Nanaku's still finding it hard to believe. Che asked himself, what are these flames? That he feels reborn. But Nanaku, still feeling arrogant, says that, "You little bastard, I am not amused by whatever gimmick this is. I tasted your blood, and it was human. This power that you now flaunt changes nothing." He tells Chi that he's gonna kill him. Slowly, Che's foodie buddy walks in and immediately drops his pizza in surprise of what he's seeing. Che, now looking overpowered, says, "I wonder." Nanaku's master yells at him to run. Che continued by saying, "When you burn, Mr. Rokash's supervisor asks if he won't stop the match for the safety of the audience." He breaks the hand of his chair in anger. Sunraz yells at Che not to do it. But that's too late, boy. Che finishes by asking if he'll turn to ashes. Nanaku yells at him to die, but fires faster. He blasts Nanaku with a huge amount of flame and fries him into a burnt barbecue. The audience were traumatized. Che's buddy were shocked that Che killed Nanaku. Che's power turned off and he fell to his knees, weak and clothes burnt out. Sunraz runs to him and gives him a cloth to cover his body. Then he asks if he's all right because of his wounds. He says that he's all right, but also confused. His body feels like it was ripped and put back together. Then Sunraz asks him, when did they turn into killers? Che couldn't answer. But there's no time for brotherly care right now because the window in front of them shatters. The live cameras turn towards it. Then Sunraz said, I guess that woke him up. Rokash came down, furious, screaming Chi's name and calling him Leo's best. He asks him whether that old man gave him his talent. A reporter was clearly doing his job and capturing the moment. Furious Che dared him to speak Leo's name again. Smiling Rokash said that he remembered the both of them. The furious wolf cubs at their master's side. He asks whether he closed Che and Sunraz looked angry. He laughs maniacally, clearly losing it, screaming that Leo Thomas, you are way too good. Even in your death, you still didn't fail to find a successor, and it's this weak human Che who's managed to bring back Leo's talent to the world. He furiously says that it doesn't matter, he'll still kill him like he did to his master. And I'm telling you, bro's dumber than a fool, because he said that knowing he was on live television. The crowd were shocked that he murdered war hero Thomas. Even his own henchman is calling him an idiot. Headband guy screams, got him? Rokash asks if he's come to avenge Papa, and if he erases him, he'll erase his legacy. You plan to win, then bring me to justice? Haha, laughable. Rokash's henchman congratulates his boss for confessing on live television. A camera is shown. I think bro just noticed he was live. Then the police suddenly came in out of nowhere, screaming Rokash's name. They were furious, yelling at Rokash that he told them to guard this event. But yet he's the culprit they've been searching for. They were actually guarding a criminal that killed a war hero. That's 5 stars. Rokash's mom told him that they can't kill the cops because people are still filming. The police points a gun at Rokash and tells him he's under arrest. Still being considerate, the cops tell the henchman whose name is Jonele Honoré to step away from his boss, but he disagrees and chooses to safeguard him. Cops still gave him a final warning, but bro started activating, whilst Rokash walked away while telling Che that they'll meet again. But even with his precious war hero blood, he's still nothing. Cops begin to take action, getting ready to fire. Sharp spikes start coming out of Janil's hand, and 2 spikes turn into 7, and then we learn about his talent. Kimyo. Jonele Honor talent. Akuman, devil parasite. Creates a moldable metallic material that protrudes from the body. The metal is a membrane embedded within his body, similar to that of a parasite. Talent type, creation and power. Che suddenly calls Rokash's name, which arouses the interest of a reporter who immediately turns the camera to Chi's face. We see Che's back, and he continues by saying, I pray the system finds you before we do. Bro was shown on live TV while saying, you cut short the life of the man who raised us. What made you think life would go on? You made your final mistake. Run Rokash Rampersad. If you slay a wolf, make sure to kill. It's cubs for we will chase you to the grave. The 4 frightening-looking brothers are shown 4 months later. A news reporter is giving a speech saying Rokash has been hiding all this time, constantly running from authorities, because he's in no place to negotiate with them. After his brilliant and elaborate outburst, the world now knows the killer of one of its heroes. People now live in fear of Kimyos again. After a high-profile fighter uses his talent outside an illithorized venue, killing a civilian. As we look at the current Kimyo ban in effect, what are the repercussions? The total ban of the use of talents in public arenas has left many wondering, how far will this go? Is our past returning to haunt us? The rules were put in place to remove the fear humans had when walking the same streets as Kimyos after the war. We see a cat laying down peacefully. She continues by saying, humans could live peacefully knowing Kimyos are prohibited from using their talents outside special venues and the service. Kimyos who work alongside the authorities are highly praised in an attempt to foster integration. We see someone holding the phone watching the broadcast. The newscaster continues by saying, as a result, Kimyo discrimination attacks have risen. Vigilante crime has also increased. Kimyo, what's the current state of Kimyos? Local businesses also refusing to serve non-human customers. Leo Thomas's murderer, the now infamous Rokash Rampersad, a former disciple of Leo's, 15 still at large. Head Chancellor Abel Legasov, in a press conference, stated, the fate of Kimyos in this country is hanging by a thread, and I am unsure what awaits them at the bottom. We see someone carrying something like a punching bag. And yay, it's a pretty waifu who's looking for Che. So guys, that's all for today. I'll bring more episodes shortly. Don't fail to subscribe so you won't miss out on this amazing story, honestly. This manhwa is a masterpiece.